What's up, y'all? So I'm just sitting here and I'm smoking and I'm scrolling. It's July 6, 2026, and it's approximately 1:24 p.m. on that eastern side. We flip the poles. It might be Western Gregorian calendar. Hear me out. So I'm over on YouTube and I was looking at a video about Taylor Swift and her wedding. And what intrigued me was Madison Square Garden. Out of all places, why Madison Square Garden? So, mom, little mind get to racing and rolling. And I'm like, what kind of conspiracy theories have been revolved around Madison Square Garden? Hear me out. I'm about to read it. And it helps me practice with reading and taking my time with my speech. AI overview. Because Madison Square Garden is an iconic cultural institution, it has been tied to numerous conspiracy theories, public controversies, and dark historical events. Major conspiracies and theories about the garden fall into several distinct categories, okay? The 1939 American Nazi rally. The most notorious event associated with MSG was a massive rally held on February 20th, 1939 by the German-American Bund, an American pro-Nazi organization. The theory and history. Billed as a pro-American rally, over 20,000 attendees gathered inside the arena. Okay, now Taylor Swift is going to have about 1,000. Let's continue. The stage featured a massive portrait of George Washington flanked by swastikas, and speakers pushed anti-Semitic, white supremacist rhetoric. The legacy. The event was widely protested by an estimated 100,000 people outside. So you got 20,000 people inside. Then you got 100,000 people outside. Just imagine the energy harvesting that's happening with that alone, right? Because this is all about energy harvesting, okay? Decades later, the event has become a touchstone in modern political discourse, with opposition groups frequently citing the 1939 rally as a historical precursor to warn against the rise of modern authoritarianism and extremism in the United States. Now, if you want a more historical look, go ahead on over to YouTube, and this is titled Nazis at Madison Square Garden. It's about 50 seconds long. Y'all can tap into that. Now, the James Dolan surveillance machine. Another significant body of conspiracy surrounds the billionaire executive and owner of Madison Square Garden, James Dolan. The theory or history. Investigative reports, notably Wired, revealed that MSG Entertainment utilized a highly sophisticated surveillance apparatus to spy on people, including deploying facial recognition technology. This was allegedly used to track not just actual security threats, but also attorneys engaged in legal disputes with the company, protesters, and even private citizens like transgender fans. The legacy. This gave rise to ongoing public debate and scrutiny regarding corporate overreach, privacy rights, and the potential misuse of AI and facial recognition tech in public spaces. Now, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce wedding rumors, okay, allegedly. A much lighter modern conspiracy revolves around the world-famous pop star Taylor Swift and her relationship with NFL star Travis Kelce. The theory or history. A widespread pop culture theory and fan-driven speculation claimed that the couple was secretly planning to marry at Madison Square Garden. Fans analyzed clues and coincidental movements, though this largely fell under the umbrella of internet Easter egg hunting and fandom gossip. The 2026 data breach and hack. The theory history. In mid-2026, the Garden suffered a massive data breach affecting customers and celebrities. The legacy. The breach quickly generated cybersecurity and hacking conspiracies about how the group Shiny Hunters infiltrated the company. It was later revealed that the hackers used an old-school social engineering trick known as vishing, or voice phishing to trick a low-level employee into granting network access. Now you have the QAnon, I guess, question and answer 9, I don't know, and extreme political conspiracies. The theory in history: because of its high profile nature, Madison Square Garden frequently hosts major political conventions and campaign rallies. Extreme political movements, including the QAnon movement, have sometimes attached dark, unsustained theories to these high profile political events held at the arena, particularly regarding elites and power dynamics in New York City. All right. So I was a little intrigued about that. Now, since we here, hold on. Are there any underground tunnels under Madison Square Garden?
Yes, Madison Square Garden is built on top of many underground tunnels. These include subway lines like the 1, 2, 3, A, C, and E, as well as railroad tunnels used by Amtrak and other train services. There are also private service tunnels for deliveries and VIP access.
Okay, so in case y'all didn't hear Sasha, I call her Sasha. Shout out to my wife and kids. In case y'all didn't hear what she said yes, Madison Square Garden sits directly above a massive labyrinth of underground tunnels and subsurface structures. These spaces include both public transit connections and private logistical corridors. The subway tunnels. The New York City subway 1, 2, 3, A, C, and E lines all operate directly beneath and adjacent to the arena via the 34th Street Penn Station. The railroad tunnels, extensive train tracks and tunnels used by Amtrak, New Jersey Transit, and the Long Island Railroad, run deep below the arena's foundation. Service and arrival tunnels. Madison Square Garden features a complex underground road and service tunnel network. These private subterranean roadways, such as the ramp up from 33rd Street, allows delivery trucks, production crews, and VIPs to drive directly under and into hidden public view. So now, let's just play with it a little bit more, I guess I want to ask, are there any underground structures under the underground tunnels? There we go. That's what I want to ask. Are there any underground structures under the underground tunnels under Madison Square Garden?
No, there are no secret underground structures beneath the train tunnels.
Okay. You hear how she was like, no. Like she ain't want to say it and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the bitch line. She was like, no. There are no hidden secret or underground structures built beneath the train tunnels and tracks. Well, you got to understand something, Sasha. You here for me to ask you, and you part of my algorithm, so I'm going to ask you what I need to ask you now. Now, what she said was the layer immediately beneath Madison Square Garden consists of the active tracks, platforms, and concourses of Pennsylvania Station. Underneath the deepest track level lies the bedrock of Manhattan, which is occupied only by building foundations, subway utility systems, and standard municipal infrastructure. So the footprint to the underground structure is as follows: the street arena level, which is Madison Square Garden, the subsurface levels, the concourses, ticket halls, and retail arenas of Penn Station, the deepest subterranean level, 21 Long Island Railroad, LIRR, Amtrak and New Jersey Transit tracks and platforms, which date back to the original 1910 Penn Station. The very bottom, solid Manhattan bedrock, utility tunnels, cables, sewers, water mains, and structural foundation piles that anchor the arena directly into the rock. The highly complex underground area at this location is strictly used for active, heavily trafficked public transit, infrastructure, and the operational facilities necessary to support Penn Station and the arena above. So it sounds like Madison Square Garden. Let's see. The very bottom is the solid Manhattan bedrock. Hold on. We're going to look again. Okay, so are there any structures under the solid Manhattan bedrock?
Manhattan's bedrock doesn't have natural caves, but humans have created extensive infrastructure networks beneath it. The bedrock is made of very strong metamorphic rock.
Okay, so what she said was Manhattan has no natural caves or hollow spaces beneath its bedrock, but humans have thoroughly honeycombed the stone to create a massive infrastructure networks. The bedrock consists primarily of exceptionally strong, dense metamorphic rock like Manhattan schist, Fordham gneiss, and Inwood marble, reaching up to 500 million years in age. Okay, stick with me. To build out the city's vast subterranean footprint, workers have blasted and bored directly through this solid stone. How disrespectful is that? You just imagine how much trouble they fucking getting into. Creating the following major subterranean networks. All of these structures are under... They about to get... Because if the earth has to terraform back into its original state... So we got massive water tunnels. New York City's primary water supply relies on 3 enormous deep rock tunnels drilled hundreds of feet into the Manhattan bedrock to bypass the crowded surface. So we got City Tunnel number 1, drilled 275 feet deep completely in 1917 to serve Manhattan and the Bronx. So y'all got that water from City Tunnel number 1. All right, City Tunnel number 2, Brooklyn and Queens. Y'all got that. It was drilled 600 to 800 feet deep. Completed in 1936 to serve Brooklyn and Queens. And then City Tunnel number 3, currently in its final phases, this colossal system was bored 600 to 800 feet below the surface to provide a vital backup for the city's water distribution. Deep transit caverns. The city has blasted massive cathedral-sized underground caverns through the schist to accommodate large-scale modern transit expansions. So you got Grand Central Madison. Hold the fuck up. See, because her little wedding, Taylor Swift little wedding, that shit is almost... It's over $10 million that it's going to cost here. And you know, for the police... To be 80% of the New York City police will be there. Probably New York State. Excuse me. Maybe New York City. 80%. Who the fuck gonna save everybody else? So we're looking at Grand Central Madison, which was built 140 feet below ground. This 11.1 billion LIRR concourse features expansive underground caverns carved directly into the bedrock. You got 2nd Avenue subway. Tunnels and station caverns were drilled and blasted directly through the Manhattan schist to expand the Q line. If y'all from New York City, comment below if this sound familiar, if this sound like something, if I'm going somewhere with this. So we got wastewater and power tunnels, large diameter pipes. Sewers and deep power cables are threaded through utility tunnels driven through the solid stone. If you are thinking of natural subterranean cave systems like the limestone caverns found in upstate New York, there are none in Manhattan. The bedrock here is dense and crystalline, meaning that any deep cavern that exists are strictly man-made tunnels and underground stations, man-made. Like all the lakes, man-made. Hold up. Okay, I think we're going to leave that right here. Now, if you want to get a nice video of a great investigative reporter who I tend to do a lot of my videos with. What's up, Sloan? Sloan, you know we be doing them together. Don't do that. Don't do that, baby. Go on over to Sloan Hooks, right? Let me go over into his channel. Okay. I just watched the video. Sloan, 1.23 million subscribers, right? Over 2,000 videos you can dibble and dabble into. All right. I just watched Taylor Swift's Wedding Nightmare, okay? And it's let me see. Taylor Swift Wedding Disaster. Secret ceremony, banned guest, and NDAs. This is crazy. It was posted on July 3rd, 2026. Go ahead on over. And look, somebody already said, Sloan, I'm dead. Sloan, when Sloan said, let's get into it, yes, Sloan deep dives directly into it. Some great research and everything like that. But when I was watching the video, I was like, well, they're doing all this reconstruction to Madison Square Garden. Let's get some history on the garden, Madison Square Garden, because a lot of things happen inside, under, on top, around Madison Square Garden. And then it says that the billionaire, let's see, the billionaire has some type of a surveillance here. Let's go back now. Hold on, stick with me. Go on over to Sloan's channel and subscribe if you want to. The high-tech surveillance claims. So, James Dolan, the CEO, right? High-tech surveillance claims. Reports reveal that the garden utilized facial recognition technology and other tracking methods to identify and bar lawyers, advocates, and critics from its premises. Then you had a data hack. In June 2026, that was this year. The arena was a target of a major cybersecurity breach in June 2026 when the hacker... Oh, we already read that. Let me stop. All right, y'all. Much peace, much light, much love, but especially that darkness because the dark matter... Oh, wait. Sloan, I love you, but since we over here, y'all can check out my videos too. Now, if you're into reaction videos or if you're just into me talking or just me doing some type of tarot in here, we have a lot of reaction videos here. 4th of July at Newport News is coming up tomorrow. Michael Rubin and the White Party is coming up I think tonight. Okay, if you're into tarot divination, I also do lives with tarot divination. I don't know why they always doing something to my channel. All I said was, let's talk about the universe. Okay, and I had to talk about a whole lot of things. But anyway, I'll figure out what's going on there. But we also have tarot divination like, why are they so afraid of the sun? Why are they chanting in a red circle with candles? You know, why did they choose that direction to take? So, I appreciate you all. Much peace, much light, much love, but especially that darkness because of dark matter. And I love you. Peace.